Hey friends, how's it going? Welcome back. It's Thursday, late Thursday, I know. Well, there's a reason, and you're going to learn about it. I mean, seriously, what? Always something. It's late afternoon, and someone insists on hammering something. Before it was leaf blowers. So I waited it out. And now someone's banging something. Well, can't win them all. Anyway, it's been a struggle this week, friends. It's been a real struggle. Last Saturday, we put my mom to rest. Beautiful service. No complaints. It was actually a very lovely service. And my brother and I, we had remarks at the service, and so did my father. And, everyone really appreciated our remarks, and they complimented us greatly. It was very special. It was a special day. That evening, I was visiting my friend Rivers with my other friend and coworker Wayne, and we went down to Rivers' house and played dominoes with him and Felipe, and we had a nice time. It was very special because it was just us guys just kind of, talking and sharing our grief of things that we've lost in 2025. And there's been many things. Whether it was a home in the fires at Altadena, losing a son in a motorcycle accident, losing a parent, This year has been something that has been taking a lot from a lot of people. And, I didn't see my mom getting sick this year. Nobody did. But when she did, it did not surprise me. There was so many unchecked things that led up to this, because my mom did not care for the healthcare industry at all. So yeah, I half expected it to be like this. But, can't force anyone to do anything that they don't want to do. I can't. I know my father tried and failed. At least he tried. But whatever the case is, my mom's, she's safe. And I know she's enjoying a reunion with all those people who came before. Yeah. But Saturday was a very special day. And my wonderful, sweet, adoring lady, who I hope you'll all get to meet eventually, when the time is right. She was a wonderful support. She attended. And she met my mom. And she was at the hospital, one of the better days my mom had at the hospital, and it was a very special day for all of us. And, she was there front row, offering her support and love, and she got to meet my extended family, and they all adore her. Can't say I'm surprised. I kind of expected that. And, they all knew what I went through a couple of years ago, and they were very discreet. They didn't bring it up at dinner the day before. They were very selective with their questions towards me. Asked me about work and stuff like that. they're very dignified people on my dad's side. Yeah. And I like that. They're very classy. But when they met my lady, they were very impressed, and they made it a point to say so, and I was very touched. And I passed that on to her, of course, and she said they told her the same. But yeah, Sunday was just another day. Recuperated a little bit from Saturday and had lunch with my father and my brother, and Monday I went to work just like normal, and it's been a long day, and I got a call from my lady, and she she kind of surprised me with availability for Tuesday. So I says, okay, yeah, come on over Tuesday and we'll hang out. Okay. Well, Monday night I went to bed and I didn't get much sleep. I rolled around the majority of the night, not sleeping. And by the time I was getting sleep, then it was already the AM of Tuesday morning. And it was, a cacophony of leaf blowers and lawn equipment. And also, the landlord of the unit behind me, just east of my window, 5 feet away from my bedroom window, decided it was time to start clearing out the apartment that was now vacant. And that consisted of a lot of power tools and demolition work. So, yeah. I wasn't able to get the sleep that I wanted or needed, but I conceded, and I got up and had some coffee, and I was just like, oh, okay, well, let's prepare for the day. I'm going to have a visitor. Looking forward to that, And before she came, I took a nap and tried to, get the rest that I needed, because it was finally quiet. Late morning, geez. But she came and we hung out, got some lunch and everything, and then she's like, hey, you feel kind of warm. I'm like, oh, I guess I do. She's like, are you running a temperature? I'm like, I guess I am. I didn't even notice. I was feeling okay other than that, but I was just tired. I just felt really tired because I didn't have any sleep, and it was a long weekend, a lot of emotional draining, it was emotionally draining for sure. So, she snapped into mom mode, I guess you could say. She she went to the store and got food to make dinner, and she took care of me that night. She did. She was absolutely wonderful, and making sure I was loved and taken care of, and I appreciate her for that. And that was lovely. It wasn't the ideal day. I had other plans, but she was like, it's okay. It's what it is, And yesterday I spent the whole day recuperating and just laying low and drinking a lot of water and nibbling on things. My appetite wasn't there, really. I didn't have much of an appetite. But, yeah, she checked on me and everything. It was nice. It was always lovely hearing from her. And then I did get some better sleep last night. I did. I actually got some dreams and, very vivid dreams. So I must have been sleeping quite deeply to have those. And I woke up and I was feeling better. I was feeling hungry. Oh boy, I was feeling hungry because I almost technically fasted the day before on Wednesday. But when you have a fever, you don't really feel hungry that much, You're very selective with what you eat because it almost might be a game changer. You might come back to visit you, But aside from that, everything has been going good. This morning I was coming out of the woods and I made a nice big breakfast, and boy, that hit just right. And, just took it easy, got my energy back, feeling much better. So yeah, I am I'm doing well. And so I'm out here now making a video with you guys to share another favorite and rare lantern. Thank you for bearing with me for the first 10 minutes of this video, but, things to talk about. Well, what am I sharing today? Well, it's something that you might say is not rare, but it is. Thought I'd go cold blast this week. Share one of my rarer cold blast lanterns. You're like, what is this, a blizzard? No, actually it's not. It's a Paul's. Yeah. Paul's Leader Cold Blast. Yes. Have you ever seen such a thing? Well, this is not common. This is actually a very rare Paul's lantern. This is first generation Wheeling Stamping Company manufacturing Paul's here. It was about 1900, maybe 1903, give or take, right in that range. But the orbital globe here, the wire, the single wire globe guard thing, the hula hoop, that's something Paul's did very briefly. That's right. They did this for a very brief time. And we're going to light it. That's right. Of course we're going to light it. What do you think we are? I'm just going to, not light it. Come on. There it is. All right. Isn't that lovely? It's nice. Very nice. Now, this lantern came to me under interesting pretenses. A little backstory. Why I love this thing. I think it'll make sense, and I think you'll agree. But, on Facebook, we share a lot of things on the Tubular Lantern Collectors group, and I was scrolling through the posts a couple of years ago, and I saw this beautiful, aged cold blast lantern with a single wire globe guard and a globe just exactly like that, posted by one of the members. And the description was that he found it at a wagon sale and bought it from a guy that had a bunch of old stuff, and it was just in this old wagon, and he bought it because he liked it, and that was it. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's a beautiful piece. And it's interesting because if you look at it closely, it looks like a blizzard. It looks almost pound for pound, inch per inch, Dietz Blizzard. First gen Dietz Blizzard, right? It has the same style fount, smooth tubes, same style baffle, 4 slotted vents, same crown, same circular pull ring, brass pull ring. I mean, essentially this is a blizzard and, outside lift. Now I do have the part I'm yet to prepare. This is the lift lock. That part's missing on mine. But I have the part. I got it from Ted Melanie. Nice guy. I need to clean that up and have it soldered. That's a project for another day, but it gives me another reason to make another video with this lantern down, doesn't it? Yeah. But I wanted that lantern, and I reached out to the guy who posted it, and I says, hey, if there's any chance you'd ever let go of that thing, please let me know first. I would love the opportunity to add it to my collection. Well, crickets. Never got a response. Never got a response. And I was like, all right. I guess that's a no. So I'm just like, all right, well, sure. I guess I'm going to have to find my own. And I typed in Paul's Leader Cold Blast, ran a search on the group, and yielded only a few posts of this similar cold blast of this generation. Now, Paul's made thousands of cold blast lanterns, clear into the 1930s and 40s. those are very easy to find. What makes this one so different? Why is this one special? Because it's first generation. And they changed almost immediately after this iteration. After this generation, within a couple of years, I would say, they went to a different globe guard. They went to the globe guard being crimped into the globe plate, much like Dietz lanterns were. But they were, they did that. They came together and like that. Kind of like a Winfield a little bit. Anyways, you've seen them. I've had a couple of them, actually. I don't have them anymore. I sold my later Paul's Cold Blast from the 1905-6 era. I know I'll find another one. Probably a better one anyways. But anyhow, I decided to keep this one because it was so cool, so unique, and very hard to find. However, how I came across this was really interesting. So sometimes it takes a village, guys. Sometimes it really does take a village. So a friend of mine, Mr. Michael Large, he sends me a link to Facebook Marketplace. And there's this guy selling this lantern. And I sent him a message. I was like, hey, there's any chance that you would be willing to ship it? Because I think it was being sold, where was it being sold? Georgia? I think it was in Georgia. But anyways, it was painted black. You may remember the restoration video. I did a restoration video, I think, on this particular lantern. But he says, no, I'm not shipping it. I'm like, I says, wait a minute, I might have a friend that lives close by there. So I posted this thing. I says, hey, anybody near this location? Because I didn't post a link to the listing. I just says, hey, I need a pickup and a ship. Is anybody able to help me out? And Kevin Gentile, or Kevin Gentile. Kevin came to my rescue, and he said that he'd pick it up, and all I'd have to pay for is the gas and the ride. I'm like, okay, sure. Well, the lantern was $20, and shipping and the gas for his expenditures pushed the lantern to $80. But you know what? In all intents and purposes, I'm okay with that, because this thing is worth more than $80. I'm still in the black, kids. Still in the black. But when it came, I realized that the burner cone was totally trashed. It was splitting. It had chunks missing out of it, and the burner end, it was not even the original setup. It was weird. So I reached out to old Lantern Joe and ordered a proper cone and burner for it. And he, of course, sent it ahead. And it fits perfectly. Everything's great. And then I stripped the lantern and revealed a nice patina under there and did my trick to it. Yeah. It came out really nice. I love this thing. And then that globe, oh boy, that globe is something else. It's nice, solid, crisp, embossed Paul's Leader Cold Blast on that thing. And it is the proper globe for this lantern. That globe came in a CT Ham Cold Blast lantern. That was on eBay. And I won it, I think, for $50. I think I won it for 50, maybe less than that. It was just a black painted CT Ham Cold Blast, early 1900s. Well, I have one similar. I love it. I have nothing against Cold Blast CT Hams. They're amongst my favorite, actually, but I already have one. I've had many, and I've sold them. I've sent many out there. Many of you might have one of them. Anyways, they're definitely special. I kept my favorites. So, with that being said, I bought that lantern purely for the globe, swapped the globe out, stripped the black paint off the ham that I bought, fixed it up a bit, and sold it. and I got my money back, I'd say. Yeah. So that worked out good. And sometimes I'm willing to do that. If there's a rare globe in a frame, I'm willing to buy the whole kit caboodle just for the globe. A lot of you guys understand how that works and how we kind of have to do that, because sometimes when the globe turns up by itself, it's more than a lantern. Because when we're getting to glass this old and this obscure, I mean, you really kind of have to do what you need to do to get it. Yeah. But anyways, it's a favorite because, one, it burns perfectly. That flame does not waver. It does not waver. It just burns perfectly. Let me see if I can get a close-up before you can just kind of get an idea here. Just see how still that thing burns. Nice and even flame, nice spread. It doesn't flicker. It's very, very still. It's a joy to burn. It makes a very nice, even light. I mean, it rivals the Blizzard I have, which is the same year as this. Yeah. It does. So, this is one of my favorite cold blast lanterns, early cold blast lanterns. And as I've gone through things, you know me, I've sold a lot of stuff over the years. And I've come to a point where I want to only keep very special, specific lanterns in the collection. And it's usually first generation stuff that I like to keep. Yeah. The earliest version, that's kind of where I've been going in my collecting direction. And what I want to keep and what I want to maintain and enjoy is first generation or early production models of, you know, certain companies. But yeah, this is just amazing. This thing is really cool. So Paul's, of course, made plenty of cold blasts, and they had a very short evolution. They made they went from this single wire guard, which is a holdover from NCL. And NCL didn't make any cold blast lanterns. They only made the crank tubular, lantern. But when it became Wheeling, then they started experimenting with other designs like cold blast and whatnot. So, yeah, Wheeling rolled this out, and then within 1903, 1904, I want to say, then they started doing a different globe guard design than this. It was just, they were crimped into the base of the globe plate, and they kind of met together and they bent away from each other. It's a really neat design. I had one I've mentioned before earlier in this video, but and then they went to soon after that they went to crisscross globe guards, which they maintained clear into when they stopped making the lanterns, and that was seen on all of their hot blast and cold blast lanterns. They made a tall globe like this, and also the squat globe. The squat globe cold blasts from Paul's are out there in abundance. They turn up often. I had one. It was a green painted one. Yeah, I had it, and I sold it to a neighbor, and I think he probably still has it. Anyways, it's a cool piece, and I love it. Yeah, they do burn really nice, and it's interesting because most collectors just kind of shrug off Paul's stuff, like because it's just so common, it's so overly produced, it's just out there. But you know what? They burn nice. They do. They're nice lanterns. They really are. It's interesting because they did. I would have to say that they improved their quality, becoming Wheeling, because when they were NCL or Nail City Lantern and Stamping Company, their tin was a little bit lesser quality. It wasn't as high grade as we've come to know with the Paul's Leader brand. Yeah, so they stepped it up. When they became Wheeling, they kind of stepped it up a little bit from my observations. And this thing is made just as well as a Dietz Blizzard. It's about the same weight. It's definitely performs the same, if not better. And it has a lot of the same attributes. I mean, if it had crosswire guards, you would think it's a Blizzard. I mean, it looks exactly like it. It does. Well, shoot, here. I got my Blizzard right here. I'll show you. Take a look. I mean, look at that. They're the same, except for the globe guard wires. That's it. Same height. Same everything. They pretty much copied it verbatim. Yeah. Isn't that wild? Yeah, well. Dietz was not unfamiliar to copycats. They'd say, imitation is the highest form of flattery. And that is definitely true. And this thing it's a joy to own, and it's a lovely piece to burn and enjoy. It makes great light, and I love it. Lately, I've been using this patinaed Kirkman shade on it, and it's just really cool the way it deflects the light down. And I'll hang it out here in the garage, and oh, it's a little dusty, but yeah, I hang it out here in the garage, and I burn it when I'm, killing some time out here. Which hasn't been often as of late. Well, most of this week I've just been busy and also recovering from my, ailments. But it was pretty quick recovery, a couple days. Can't keep this guy down. No, you can't. Anyway, for anyone who's interested in these, I highly, highly recommend investing in a Kirkman shade. You won't regret it. I guarantee it. Very smart buy. And this is a steel one. I asked for one that was patinaed. And they can do a variety of faux patinas. And they can make them out of brass or copper. I have a copper one for my Rayo 82 copper found. But yeah, this thing is great, and they're handmade in Ramona, California. Yeah. So this is made pretty much on par with the old ones that, Dietz used to offer. I think they were a little bit different profile, but the Kirkmans wanted to give more of a different light throw, so they changed the pitch. But these are great, and they're not that expensive. But you definitely should call them and talk to either Madison or Woody, and yeah, and they'll fix you up. All right. Well, you guys take it easy, and we'll see you in the next video. And I'll have another lantern that's rare and a favorite to share. You guys take care. Thanks again for stopping by. Always a pleasure. Keep them burning. See you next week. Bye. Sit, boo boo, sit. Good dog.